Ryan Paevey's latest departure from General Hospital has left many fans with mixed emotions. After returning to Port Charles in 2025, Paevey once again became a major talking point among viewers. His return initially created excitement because fans remembered him from his earlier run as Nathan West. But this time, the story came with a surprising twist, and now that his latest run has ended, one big question remains. Could Ryan Paevey return to General Hospital again? The answer is not a simple yes or no. His exit is real, but the door has not been completely closed. Paevey's latest General Hospital appearance wrapped up on July 6, 2026, when his character, Cassius Faison, departed the storyline. According to executive producer Frank Valentini, the return had always been planned as a short-term story arc. Valentini also praised Paevey's work and said the show loved having him back. That information may be disappointing for fans who hoped Paevey would become a permanent part of the Port Charles cast. But there is an important detail that makes this exit different from his original departure. Cassius Faison was not definitively killed off. That changes everything. A return that was never quite what it seemed. When Ryan Paevey returned to General Hospital in September 2025, fans immediately recognized the familiar face. At first, viewers believed he was returning as Nathan West, the character Paevey had played from 2013 until 2018. But soap operas rarely make things that simple. The story eventually revealed that the man viewers were seeing was actually Cassius Faison, Nathan's twin brother, who had been posing as Nathan. That twist gave Paevey the opportunity to play a very different type of character. Instead of simply recreating Nathan, Paevey was able to explore a character with a completely different personality and set of motivations. That was one reason the storyline attracted so much attention. Paevey himself had previously explained that he did not want to return simply to repeat Nathan's story. He wanted something new to play, and Cassius gave him exactly that opportunity. For longtime viewers, seeing Paevey again was already emotional. Watching him play someone connected to Nathan, but not actually Nathan, made the comeback even more intriguing. Why his exit feels so heartbreaking. For fans, the hardest part is not necessarily that the story ended. It is that Paevey's return felt like it could have become something much bigger. After years away from the soap, viewers finally got another chance to see him in Port Charles. Some fans had hoped the comeback would lead to a longer storyline, more relationships, more conflicts, and perhaps a permanent place for Cassius. Instead, the character's latest arc ended after only a limited run. That can be frustrating for viewers who became invested in the story. There is also an emotional factor that comes with Paevey specifically. His earlier role as Nathan West created a strong connection with General Hospital viewers. When he returned, many longtime fans saw it as a chance to revisit a familiar performer while experiencing something new. Now that the latest chapter has ended, those same fans are once again wondering when, or whether, they will see him in Port Charles. The good news: the door is still open. This is where the story becomes much more interesting. Although Ryan Paevey has exited the current storyline, the circumstances surrounding Cassius leave room for another appearance. Soap Opera Digest reported that the show confirmed Paevey's exit while noting that the door remains open for a possible return. And Paevey himself has expressed openness to returning under the right circumstances. At a recent General Hospital fan event, Paevey discussed the possibility of coming back as Cassius. He indicated that he would be interested in returning if there were an entertaining story for the character. That does not mean a return has been officially announced. It is important to separate possibility from confirmation. There is currently no reason to tell fans that Ryan Paevey is definitely returning on a specific date. But there is also no reason to assume that this is necessarily the final chapter for Cassius. And in the world of daytime television, an open-ended exit can be very important. Why Cassius could return. The biggest advantage is simple: the character has unfinished potential. Cassius is not Nathan. That means writers do not have to repeat old storylines. They can create new conflicts, new alliances, new secrets, and new connections. A character like Cassius can return months later and immediately create questions. Where has he been? What has he been doing? Who can he trust? Who is he working for? And perhaps most importantly, what does he want? Those questions could give the writers plenty of material if they ever decide to bring Paevey back. There is also the WSB connection surrounding Cassius, which gives the character a natural path into future stories involving intrigue and high-stakes drama. That does not guarantee a comeback, but it makes one possible. Fans have another reason to stay hopeful. Ryan Paevey's relationship with General Hospital is different from that of an actor who simply joined the cast for the first time. He already has history with the show. He already has a recognizable character connection through Nathan West. And now he has another identity in the Port Charles universe through Cassius Faison. That gives the writers flexibility. If the right story comes along, they could potentially bring Cassius back without pretending that Nathan's original story never happened. That is especially valuable in a soap opera, where characters can disappear for a while and return when the story needs them. So, will Ryan Paevey return? Right now, the most accurate answer is, it is possible, but it has not been confirmed. That distinction matters. Fans should be excited about the possibility without treating speculation as an official announcement. Paevey has indicated that he would be open to returning, while the show's leadership has also left the door open. Recent reporting confirms that his 2026 storyline was designed as a short-term arc. That combination gives fans something they did not have with many other exits: genuine uncertainty. And sometimes uncertainty is exactly what keeps a soap opera storyline alive. A different kind of goodbye. There is something strangely emotional about Cassius leaving without a definitive ending. It means fans do not necessarily have to say goodbye forever. Instead, they can think of this as a pause. Ryan Paevey has already demonstrated that he can step away from Port Charles and later return with a completely different storyline. His 2025 comeback proved that. Now the question becomes whether another opportunity will appear. Perhaps Cassius could return for a short mystery. Perhaps he could become involved in a WSB storyline. Perhaps he could unexpectedly cross paths with characters connected to his previous identity. Or perhaps the writers will decide to leave Cassius off-screen for an extended period. There are many possibilities. Why fans still care about Ryan Paevey? Part of Paevey's popularity comes from the connection he established during his original General Hospital run. Nathan West became an important part of the show's world, and Paevey's performance helped make the character memorable. His later work outside General Hospital also kept his name familiar to television audiences. So when news broke that he was returning, fans had a reason to pay attention. The comeback was not simply another casting announcement. For longtime viewers, it felt like the return of someone they had missed. That is why another departure can feel particularly disappointing. Fans finally got him back, and now they have to wait again. What could happen next? At this point, there are several realistic possibilities. The first is that Cassius remains off-screen indefinitely. The second is that Paevey returns for another short storyline. The third is that the show develops a larger story that brings Cassius back for a longer period. There is also the possibility that Paevey continues focusing on projects outside General Hospital. None of these possibilities should be presented as confirmed unless the actor or the show officially announces them. For now, the strongest confirmed information is that his latest run ended in July 2026, and that both the character's situation and Paevey's comments leave room for another appearance. Ryan Paevey's latest General Hospital exit may feel heartbreaking to fans, but it does not necessarily have to be viewed as a permanent goodbye. Cassius Faison's story has enough unanswered questions to support another chapter, and Paevey has shown that he is willing to consider returning if the right story comes along. That is perhaps the most encouraging part of this entire situation. Fans do not have a confirmed return date. They do not have an official announcement promising that Cassius will be back, but they do have something else. A door that remains open. For a soap opera fan, that can mean a lot, because in Port Charles, today's goodbye does not always mean forever. Sometimes it simply means, until the next story. And for Ryan Paevey fans, that possibility is enough to keep the conversation alive. So, as viewers look ahead, one question continues to hang over the General Hospital universe. Will Cassius Faison return to Port Charles, and will Ryan Paevey be the one to bring him back? For now, nobody can say for certain. But unlike a truly final exit, this one still leaves room for hope. And perhaps that is exactly why fans are finding it so difficult to say goodbye.